Dear Mrs. Friede Springer, dear Mr. Ronald Lauder, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you a warm welcome to you on this special evening. First, I would like to thank our host, Ronald Lauder, for inviting us here tonight. We are assembled at this magnificent museum, which, by the way, is the most visited museum of its kind in Europe and one of Germany's best museums. We are here to honor a man who was one of the great business leaders of post-war Germany. Within a decade, he managed to build Europe's biggest publishing house. He created many newspapers, which still rank among Germany's most widely read publications. But this man, Axel Springer, was more than just an influential publisher or a media tycoon, as we would call him today. He was also an opinion leader. He was also a man of strong convictions, a moral leader who never shied away from controversy. Yet, even those who strongly disagreed with him then will probably accept that he left a lasting mark on post-war Germany. For he was more than just a defender of Israel. Here in Germany, he was a real friend and active supporter. He was somebody for whom reconciliation was more than just a word. It was a deeply held conviction. In June 1966, when Axel Springer paid the first visit of more than 30 visits to Israel, it was before the Six-Day War. Jerusalem was a divided city, as was Berlin. He met with the mayor of Jerusalem, Teddy Kollek. Both men strongly believed in the reunification of their cities. In 1966, Springer built his headquarters here, right next to the Berlin Wall, in the center of the city, with a view over the terrifying no man's land toward East Berlin. Kollek also refused to move his municipality headquarters in Jerusalem away from the Green Line, as some suggested at that time. The following year, 1967, Jerusalem was reunited. Axel Springer would not live to see the fall of the Berlin Wall, which happened 4 years after his death in 1985. But his vision also became reality when communism fell and Berliners could finally reunite. History had proved him right. During his first visit to Israel, Springer also pledged $900,000 for the new library and auditorium of the Israel Museum, which is equivalent to about $6.4 million today. Many other donations to Israeli and Jewish institutions and projects here in Germany followed. But Springer's support for Israel and the Jews were more than just about money. His company was, and still is, the only independent media company to have a corporate constitution. One of the 5 key principles is to promote the reconciliation between Jews and Germans and support the vital rights of the people of Israel, and another to promote freedom and democracy. Axel Springer knew, if we want to our fundamental Western value, it is necessary to make choices. Promoting reconciliations between Germans and Jews, between Israel and Germany, is something that was not always popular at the time and is still today controversial, but I think today we all agree that Germany is a very good friend of Israel. but it was a choice based on strong convictions. Springer wouldn't publish a paper that was opposed to Israel's vital rights. He once wrote, "Israel enemies can't be our friends." Today, those words are more pertinent than ever. Israel is again under attack, not just under an armed attack from Hamas and other fanatic groups. It's also under attack from many here in Europe. There are boycotts. There are anti-Israeli demonstrations, even here on the street of Berlin, and there are many anti-Israel publications. There are people, even Nobel Prize laureates, who consider Israel a danger to world peace, but who remain silent when hundreds of thousands of Syrians or Iraqis are being slaughtered by fanatics. Others equate Israel with Saudi Arabia and Qatar when it comes to selling them arms. Axel Springer never pandered to that sort of moral equivalence, and until today, his newspaper know where they have to stand when hatred of Israel, when anti-Semitism is rising. Axel Springer's Bild-Zeitung recently ran a big campaign against anti-Semitism in which prominent Germans spoke out. It was outstanding. It was a rallying cry. Yesterday, we saw the rally was a great success. This was in part thanks to Springer's publications. Axel Springer's legacy continues, and thanks to you, Mrs. Springer, you ensured that the commitment of your late husband to Israel and to the Jews is continued. It therefore gives me a great pleasure to give to you, Mrs. Springer, the Theodor Herzl Award of the World Jewish Congress in recognition of Axel Springer's tremendous efforts to bring German and Jews and German and Israel closer together. I'm sorry to be so long, but there are so many interesting things to say about Axel Springer. Let me end this speech with a quote from him in 1971. 25 years after Auschwitz, Germans' relation with the land of the Jews cannot be normal, but will inevitably be special. The same can still be said 70 years after Auschwitz. This is still a special relation, and it will be for many years to come. But yesterday's rally and the positive events of the past 25 years, which saw a blossoming Jewish life in Germany, a level of Jewish immigration that no other country in Europe witnessed, it bear witness we are now reaping what Axel Springer sowed during his lifetime. The Jewish-German symbiosis, which is on show in all its facets in its museum here, is a special one indeed. Thanks to the lifelong dedication of Axel Springer, and thanks to your effort, Mrs. Springer, it has become a special relationship again in the positive meaning of the word after and despite the Holocaust. Let us make sure, through a determined effort, that it stays like this, and that Jewish life continues to blossom in this country, and that Israel and Germany remain friends and allies. Let us make sure that Axel Springer's legacy continues to inspire people. I would like to invite Mrs. Friede to see from near here the award. I cannot deliver it because it's very heavy.
Thank you very much. I feel very honored. Vielen, vielen Dank. Ich kann nichts dazu fügen. Das ist alles gesagt. Dankeschön.
you.